Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Eric Winegard. Eric Winegard is the co-founder and CEO of Rare Blue Moon Marketing. Eric Winegard's life is a testament to the raw power of reinvention, grit, and the unyielding belief that one's past does not have to define their future. From homeless shelters and foster homes to the helm of an 8-figure business, Eric's journey is as inspiring as it is extraordinary. Determined never to squander the second chance he's been given, Eric resolved to completely change the trajectory of his life. Despite not having a high school diploma, he pushed himself to go back to school, earning his GED and later pursuing higher education. It was the beginning of an uphill climb, but Eric was no stranger to adversity. Together with his wife, Alexis, Eric founded a digital marketing firm in South Florida. What began as a bold venture grew into an 8-figure enterprise, serving clients nationwide with cutting-edge digital marketing strategies, video production, SEO services, and more. Their company quickly earned a reputation for excellence and innovation, outpacing competitors and transforming the marketing landscape for countless businesses. Well, good afternoon, Eric. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Excited to chat with you.
Absolutely, my friend. I appreciate it. You've been in South Florida there, and I'm here in Kansas City. The weather's a little different. At least you get some breeze coming off the ocean if you're close enough anyway, but we're baking in the heat today. So I just appreciate you making the time. Eric, jumping into your first question, your journey from homeless shelters and foster care to building an 8-figure business is remarkable. What was the turning point that made you believe true change was possible for you?
Well, I tell people I had 2 turning points in my life. One is a very young man, very, very young man. When I was 23 years old, I was a knucklehead, Brian, the definition of it. I was selling narcotics and I was involved in the nightlife scene and just not living a good life at all. Coming from a background with single mother, no father, we had our challenges, and unfortunately, the world that took me in was the underworld, somebody would like to call it. And I got arrested. And, to be candid, Brian, I should have went to jail for 7 or 8 years. And this is too long of a story for this podcast, but by the luck of God, I didn't get in any trouble at all. And that's when everything changed. I realized, I had to take control of my own future. And I did. I went to college. I got a 4-year degree in 2 years. And then I started a successful career at a digital marketing company. And I just climbed my way up the corporate ladder, Brian. And by most people's standards, I was making between $300,000 and $500,000 a year. And when you hit that level in your 30s and you come from the background that I've come from, you made it big time, right? By most people's standards, absolutely. And then the second paradigm shift I had is, when I was 40, that company really wanted me to take on really the entire company and really be that company's leader and successor. And once COVID hit, it really messed with me a little bit, Brian. I realized that I had to take control again. I had to put my future and my results in my own hands. And after a 17-year illustrious career climbing the corporate ladder, Brian, I resigned. And my beautiful wife and I moved from Rochester, New York down to South Florida. We started our own digital marketing company. And yes, we had a couple of lean years, but the past couple of years have been explosive. So I had 2 paradigm shifts, one as a young man and one as a grown man.
Thank you. That did summarize. I know the story could be a lot longer. We could probably have a 3-hour podcast like Joe Rogan, but we'll just skip that and do the short version for our audience. But it's important that you highlighted some of the things that were turning points. You were arrested at a young age. You lucked out and skipped out a big sentence, which is great. And then, of course, as you got older and wiser, you had this massive opportunity. At the same time, it just wasn't hitting your heart the right way. And to make a decision to just quit and then move and start your own gig is no small feat. So I appreciate you sharing your stories with our audience today. Eric, you spent 17 years climbing the corporate ladder before launching your own business. What lessons from that corporate experience help you the most as an entrepreneur?
Thousands. And the way I like to compare it is, it's not that the company I was working for was perfect. It's not that they were completely imperfect. Like any organization in the world, they have strengths and weaknesses, right? Even Apple probably has some weaknesses somewhere, right? And what I realized is that I can learn, I can take all the good that this company does, and then I can also learn from some of the things that I don't align with and I don't agree with. I can choose to not repeat that. So when I started my own organization at the age of 40, 41 almost, I really tried to take everything that I learned from sales, marketing, accounting, sales training, culture. I really tried to take all the good things. And then some of the strategies that I felt were softer and on the weaker end, I said, you know what? I'm not going to go down those roads. I'm not going to make those mistakes. So really, I feel like I've been blessed because that 17-year run really put me in prime position to be a very successful entrepreneur very fast. Whereas if I just tried to make that jump at the age of 25, very unlikely I would have had the same success as fast as I did.
Thank you. That's very helpful. So spending that time, nearly 20 years in that corporate job, rising through the ranks and learning so much, absolutely contributed to your business and your business success, which is really cool. And again, you do learn a lot. As you get older, you get wiser. We know that. And you took all those great things and strategies that worked well and left the stuff that didn't work so well behind. So I appreciate that. Eric, your company is known for digital marketing innovation. What do you think sets your firm apart in a crowded and competitive landscape?
Oh, great question. And I get this question every day. Every company is going to say they're the best. Every company is going to say they have this strength here or this weakness here, and they'll focus on the strengths, obviously. Where I know we're different is my beautiful wife, who's been the biggest blessing in my life, is also my 50-50 business partner. And she has not the same tragedy that I had as a young man, but she definitely had some heartache growing up as well. She didn't have an easy climb either. So her and I are, we have several dozen employees, but we're still a mom and pop. That's how we look at ourselves. And the two of us couldn't be more human and grounded than any other CEO and number two at any other company. So when a client invests with us, Brian, we know they're not just investing with their company's dollars. We look at it like they're investing with their family's dollars. And we know the decisions that they're making and the marketing decisions we're trying to help them remedy and make great. We know it's impacting not just their business's bottom line, but their family's bottom line. There are no other owner operators like my wife and I that are more passionate about helping the people behind the business.
Love that. That's something that really truly resonates with me. You truly care, you and your wife, that 50-50 partnership, light partner blessing, as you called it, looking beyond the transaction and really trying to help folks out means so, so much. And I think your message is definitely going to resonate with our audience. And I just love that story. So thank you. Eric, last question of the day. Many people feel trapped by their circumstances or past mistakes. What advice would you give to someone who wants to reinvent their life but doesn't know where to begin?
This is a very, a very long conversation, but once again, I'll keep this today here. I believe there's a huge difference between traits and skills. And traits are what Tom Brady is famous for. Traits, heart, character, work ethic. And skills are in the business world, coding or graphic design. The skills will pay the bills, but it's really your traits that will make you great. And I've never even said it like that before, but it couldn't be more true. Your work ethic and your character, those are the things that are going to matter the most. So in my humble opinion, what I think people need to do is they have to get their mind, body, and spirit right before they take some monumental leap. For me personally, Brian, I had to lose 30 or 40 pounds, get in the gym and start to feel good about myself. And once I started to feel good about myself, my energy went through the roof, my confidence went through the roof, and I was ready to risk take. If you're not in a good mind, body, and spirit situation, risk taking becomes very, very difficult. But I want to leave it on this note. Traits will make you great.
That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I like how you break that apart, traits and skills. And we see a lot of entrepreneurs, successful ones, definitely lean on that trait side, which I think is important. You mentioned like heart, character, work ethic, that sort of thing. And you got to have your mind, body, and spirit all pulled together in the right direction. And I just love what you're doing with that. A lot of people have some great skills, but until you really settle that in your heart, make that decision and pull those traits together, you're just not going to be a successful entrepreneur, in my opinion, and what I've seen speaking to, 1,100 guests on the show. So I appreciate that. Eric, it was such a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you, Brian. Pleasure, my friend.
Bye for now.